Thank you so much. Have a pleasure. And we're going to proceed to our next portion of the event, a presentation on design thinking by Iris and Nima. I'll let you introduce. Hi everyone, my name is Iris. I'm in fourth year at the University of California, Berkeley. Nina and I are here to represent an organization on campus called Invention Core. We are essentially a human-centered design organization that is project-based. We truly embrace the multidisciplinary aspect of design. So all of the members of our club, it's quite small and intimate, where people are at majors, grade levels, and bring a variety of skill sets and experiences with them, much paralleling the actual principal lines I'm thinking. So I am going to run through a quick review of design thinking, just touching basic principles. Just to get a feel for the level of experience in this room, could you give me like by a show of hands what your experience is with design thinking, this much or this much?
We launched startups using it, but we all don't agree with it totally. We mix it with what we do out of the actual agile approach and the pure hackathon one, and a little mix from some of the stuff from Google Ventures, where they actually work on a product feature. So it's about 40–50% for product canvas stuff.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Does anyone else want to
Yeah, I live in Palo. I actually attend Stanford University called the Design Thinking Lab. So I would like to know what's your design thinking to the Stanford?
Actually, some of our founding principles are based from the design school, the D school at Stanford. I think our approach is more centered on user experience. A lot of parallels there, but like anyone in the design industry, there are different ways to approach it, different perspectives. So what I'd like to share with you all today is our organization's approach to design thinking. Maybe it'll be a great review for you all. Maybe you'll learn just a different way of framing something that you haven't, but overall just going over the basics, and then we'll be running through a design challenge like I mentioned. That will be a very quick 20 minutes.
Very good.
We'll just take a brief minute to free the challenge yourself.
I can see the servers are back up.
Yeah, the server airborne.
You know what? You and the yeah, it's program. Save your money with this too. I look back now, I regret the time I spent before I got if I kept dropping out of uni and switching to Reactor. I was got bored. You know, I was getting good grades, but I got bored. That sister died. And I was just like, putting studying computer science. They are.
All right, thank you so much for bearing with us through a few technical difficulties. Yeah, we will be launching into our design workshop. So, like I mentioned, today we're going to talk to you about design thinking as presented from our own lens as a college student at UC Berkeley. So, an overview, this will be very brief. We'll talk about design defined, this is from my perspective. A few buzzwords that always float around pertaining to design thinking, and then the process, specifically empathizing, defining, ideating, prototyping, and then iterating. And then we will launch into our challenge. So, first of all, how do we define design? Design to us is creativity, but also creation. So, the word itself is very fluid. It can pertain to a variety of things. It can be interpreted in a variety of ways, whether it's design left, graphic design, interior design, things like that. But the main basis is that it has to do with generating new ideas. So this is the context that is up to interpretation. And mainly it is tangible. An idea is just an idea without being created. So design is not only creation of ideas, it's something that is translated into a deliverable that is physical, that is able to be interacted with by the user or others. So, if you design buzzwords, show of hands, how many people have had experience with these words before? Awesome. Yeah, so you probably hear these floating around a lot. So iteration, very basically, the process of repeating an action. However, it's important to note that this is not insanity. If you try the same things every single time without changing anything, that is the definition of insanity. So the key point for iteration is every time you try something new, you make at least one change. And so this really helps in the pathway to developing the best possible solution. It's not realistic to create an amazing finished product on the first go. So that's why it's definitely okay being rough and then iterate along the way with feedback, which we'll talk about, into having the best possible solution at the very end. Ideation, like the name kind of implies, generating ideas in any fashion. Typically, when we talk about design thinking, it's in great volume and relative rapidity. So the design thinking process, even the term design sprint, it implies a quick turnaround. And so for ideation, we really want to get all of our ideas out there as fast as possible, which we will kind of exercise during our challenge today. Prototyping, the first try, the first draft of the product. And the main thing here is that it allows you to physically experiment with your ideas, it allows people to interface with them, and allows you to be able to show something to others and translate your own personal ideas and maybe make it so that others are able to see your vision. And then a design sprint is a process that is used to give structure and productivity to idea development. So even though the process itself is structured, there are certain key stages of the design sprint, which will also be in their design challenge. The room for creativity is within that structure. So mainly a design sprint is meant to direct the flow of ideas, but it shouldn't in any way limit the generation of those ideas that you do have. And it's perfect for So the design process, I'm sure you all have seen this graphic or something similar to it. I like this one the best. I think it best illustrates how the user is, and how it's repeating. Of course, it shows, typically it'll start at defining or empathizing, then defining, testing, or ideating, prototyping, and but unlike this graphic, sometimes it's not always that linear. You can revisit certain aspects of the design process more so than others. It all is very unique to whatever stage you are at. So the main points for this are understanding the user in the empathy stage, which is so important because whatever you create is based on the user. So you could create what you think is the most amazing product and people wouldn't use it. So there's always that balance of being able to know what people want and need and what they'll use, and then creating something specifically for that. And then challenging assumptions. Design is disruptive, or at least it should be, the design process in general. So whatever we're creating, our perspective is to create something that doesn't quite exist and to make something new. So in that way, it's important to know what exists and then how you can then disrupt that and challenge what is already out there. And then redefining the problem. We all have certain perceptions of certain issues that exist, wicked problems that are out there. And so it's always important throughout to know exactly what that problem is. And of course, it's okay to make that more and more specific as you go along through the process. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more about each stage in depth, and then we'll go into our design challenge. Thank you for sticking along with me. So user research is in the first stage, and empathy. So design ethnography, do people have any specific aspects or tools within design ethnography that they prefer using? You want to share? Yeah.
We really like to actually do a user demographic psychographic, and we use pair design, so we constrain it down to like, who is your first user, your influencer user, and who are they trying to get to influence, and then we'll be like, who's the alter cases? You always want to have an A, B, and even then third be a C off the learnings off the A/B testing. Because we feel like you're always going to be wrong. You should do it fast and inexpensive. So we always say, this is what we think this, but then there's we call it the Mac team and the Lisa team, like Apple had.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone have any other things we're using? Okay. So,
That's Apple too,
essentially,
so we still like everything we take.
yeah. Essentially within design ethnography, it's gathering data. So however you prefer to do that, there are certain tools that people prefer using, such as what you just
Pair
mentioned
programming,
here.
pair design.
Yeah, exactly. Also another way to look at it, user personas, so just knowing who the user is, and then within that interview, so being able to ask open-ended questions and not leading questions in order to keep the framing open. So as an interviewer, making sure you're not framing anything in a way that's biased, but leaving it open to interpretation, so you truly get people's perspective on what they actually think. And then from all of that, being able to define the pain points. So from all the interviews, all the data that we've gathered, what do you see as the main problems that exist that people are facing? And it's very, like something to caution against is going in with perspective as a researcher, which is of course something that we tend to do, especially because we have our own backgrounds, our own experiences, our own knowledge. So making sure that you can go through the process with an open mind in order to not voice what you think onto the user, but truly get a sense for what they actually. So the next stage, defining or redefining. So this is an aspect where you have a problem. So how can we redefine this problem? So a few key questions to ask yourself during this is, who is the audience that you are designing for? Where is the problem that is located? Sometimes things will have certain cultural, contextual kind of intricacies, and so it's really important to use those two questions to narrow down who exactly you're designing for, and what are the things you can keep in mind when you're doing that. And then, like we just mentioned, what are the main pain points of the user? Another thing is, why doesn't the situation already exist, given that this is a problem? And then identifying what exists in the market, and being able to differentiate what you create from that. And then what are the inefficiencies that you see that already exist? And then what is the most effective starting point for you? So the problem can be a wicked problem. That's just the terminology. And it can be phrased as a how might we question. So how might we do this thing in order to help this group of people in a certain way? And so that, of course, is very broad. So you can define it however you want, and then as you do more research, as you go throughout the empathy and refinement stage, you can make the question more specific, you can pivot. So yeah, all of these are just like potential pathways. And then the next stage, ideation. So this is the stage where you generate ideas, having done all of your research, being able to very succinctly define what problem you have, then you would generate ideas or solutions to that problem. So something that is used is diverge that come heard this at least just by show of hands. Awesome. So essentially, it's just a concept where you diverge, so you generate as many ideas as possible. So in this stage, what is every crazy idea we have? No idea should be left unshared. And in the divergent stage, it's quantity over quality. So in this stage, you don't spend too long really fleshing out what you mean. Instead, you go for as many different ideas as possible. And yeah, I can speak more specifically on that when we do our design sprint, and you'll be able to see that. But once you have,
This is the generator stage, and the synthesizer is the second stage, prepare design.
right,
Prepare design, I'm sorry, prepare design.
This is the generator stage. The other person prepared design synthesizer, but at this point, it's just to encourage you to use my stuff out in short time.
yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, this is one way to frame it. So diverge and converge. You can also refer to it as generating and then synthesizing. Essentially, the diverging or generating portion is expanding out as much as possible. So the goal is within your team, ideally you would have a multidisciplinary team of designers, so people with skill sets, different expertises, and they would all be able to contribute their own experience and perspective, and therefore reach as many different ideas as possible, as wide a range as possible, and then you would come together and converge or synthesize. So that's when you make choices about all of the ideas that you generated, and narrow down your scope. So really in the first stage, it's so important not to think that any idea is dumb or too far-fetched. Instead, anything that you can think of is absolutely valid. And then when you converge, that's the time for you to be more discerning. And so using the empathize and time portions, you can identify the existing solutions and make informed choices by knowing who your user is and having identified a little bit more about the market itself. Cool. And then the next stage, prototyping. So rapid prototyping, who here has heard of and had experience with that? Awesome. So essentially this is where you would experiment and test. So certain tools you can use, wireframing and rapid prototyping. Essentially wireframing can look like you drawing out ideas, creating, for example, a website, what that flow would look like, sketching that out. And obviously there are tools for wireframing that exist, Adobe, Vision, etc., different softwares that you can use. And then for rapid prototyping, there's different levels of fidelity, so low, medium, and high. And mainly that can help you conserve resources. So fidelity is just like the more finished your prototype is, so a low fidelity prototype can look like a paper sketch. Or if you're thinking about designing the most optimal box, it could be a box made out of paper. And then the low fidelity might be a box made out of cardboard. And then the highest level of fidelity would be like a laser cut standard box or like a 3D printed box. So within that, it allows you to preserve your sources while also translating your ideas into something physical. And once you have your prototype, you're able to continuously test and get feedback from the user. So that way you can iterate, find out what people like and don't like about your prototype, and then constantly shift in the direction towards your finished product. So certain considerations for this are cost, materials, time, and while you're prototyping, whatever you're making isn't reproducible. This is where documentation is important in terms of being able to note what you've created and then being able to create many of them or a higher volume of them in the future once you have your finished product. So that's the manufacturing that is being created. And then, like I said, iterating, essentially the design challenge.
Yeah, for iteration, do you,
Sorry, are you looking to see if other people on the team or others can iterate on it, or are you just polishing as you iterate and trying different elements, emphasizing one element that you may like modularly saying, let's see if to take this place and test this, like in an unbalanced situation for pricing users? Is that kind of, let's see if they click through or not? Is that kind of what you do it?
Yeah, definitely. So if you have a product, at any stage, whether it's like a wireframe or a prototype, you can like present it to the user, have them interact with it. For example, if it's like a website prototype, if they're clicking through, what features do they like, what features do they not like, and then from there being able to make informed decisions about what you would change, or if they have certain needs that aren't being met by the initial prototype you created, what would you do to amend your design in order to address those needs? Yeah, so it can truly vary between what you're designing. Any other questions?
I hate my voice, okay.
Cool.
I was actually wondering when you were talking about the audience and personas. What your take is, so do you look at your audience and do your surveys and interviews, and it's how you come up with your personas? And I don't know what your take is, but do you also feel like it's kind of putting everybody in a, because you only have one or two, it's kind of like stereotypical, you feel like it might leave some people out, and because it's so specific, what do you think?
That's a very good point, yeah. For creating personas, the idea behind it is more so being able to tell a story. So a persona would look like someone who, like the demographic of an individual and also their personal experience. I think with that, it's really, like there's a high tendency to kind of ignore underrepresented people who are on the fringes of like a certain demographic or of your target audience. And so I think that being able to be conscious of the levels of representation within your audience and also the people who might fall further from that than the general, and then being able to represent them in a specific way with the persona. But yeah, there's always that danger of not being able to fully or not being able to fully represent someone. So in terms of like not even the amount of interviews, but the breadth of the interviews that you have, making sure that there's a variety of perspectives represented within that and creating personas from there, I think might help to reduce that issue. Any other questions before we move on to the challenge? Okay, awesome. So the challenge that we have for today, in line with what Pablo and Pasha were talking about, the question, the wicked problem, is how might we create a virtual assistant that best interfaces with customers on an online shopping platform. So this is somewhat specific, but also rather vague. So it's really up to you to define each aspect of it, yeah, and then go from there. So we are going to have 20-minute design sprint. We would like you all to be in groups of 5 to 6. And we have post-it notes and pens here. So what the design sprint will look like, the structure is we will be regulating the time pretty strictly, like I mentioned. And then in your groups, you will each write down your individual ideas. So one idea is one post-it note, and again, diverging quantity over quality. The more you can generate, the better in 4 minutes, which is a rather rapid amount of time. And then the next 5 minutes will be for each of you sharing out and grouping your ideas. So the way that will look is once you all have your individual ideas, which you have communicated with everyone, you'll have time to put an idea down, and as you put it down on a flat surface, perhaps a table or a wall, you would read it out so that everyone knows what your idea is. And if someone has something similar or something that can be categorized similarly, so all the ideas are shared. So in that you're converging, and then you'll be able to create groups, natural groups of how people think, and they don't have to all fit in perfect little groups. There can be ideas that are between a couple groups. And then in 2 minutes, you're going to decide whether that you will take, so make a decision about what your prototype is going to look like. And then in 9 minutes, which is very fast, create a prototype, a storyboard, etc., and prepare a 1-minute pitch, both a little bit about your process, what you do very, very short amount of time to do this all in, and of course the prototype doesn't look super finished. I think the most important thing here is to be able to have a solution or that you've all decided upon, and then be able to communicate that. So mostly just like considering different aspects of communicating that and not having like something specifically built, if that makes sense. Does anyone have any questions about the process or the deliverables of this challenge?
So is this shopping site, is this like Amazon or is it like ammunition USA?
Is it your call? It's your call?
Yeah.
Specifics?
It's your call.
No, it's anything that you would like to address as a group. And you can discuss a question first as a group and see what exactly that means to you all and how you would define it, but mostly whatever like need points you would want to address. Yeah. One. Yes. Cool. Awesome. So again, we have pens and sticky notes. If you all would like to stretch your legs, get up, introduce yourself to someone you haven't met before, and then group generally in teams of 5.
They call me AK. Network team. Your name? Beautiful name. Daniel. Augusto. Huh? Augusto. Augusto! Your name, if you want to join, it's your call. Your name? And I like your voice. I like it. How you doing? You have a group? Yeah, we're kind of grouping here. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get together.
Yeah, who's right here?
No, in the circle.
Where's the circle table?
No, here, here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's probably enough to make 2 groups.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah. Yeah. So,
You guys,
your name?
go this way.
Ra? Oh, Ra, like Ra. Yes. Yeah, like King Roger. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Anybody mind if I live stream this?
So,
Honest? Yeah. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So your name?
Aditya.
Huh?
Aditya.
Aditya. What does it mean?
It means, I don't know what it means.
What language?
So I think Sanskrit.
Oh, Aditya. Okay. Kareem. I'll be AK. I'm gonna screw up your names. I screw up mine. But it's not Daniel.
Augusto. We should help them.
Liza. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. It's your choice. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Cool. So, first thing I guess we have to assume is who's going to use the best illustrator passes. Do you draw?
I draw, but it's not on the computer on the box.
Okay, maybe you do the finals. Anybody can quick like just throwing those release for the first 2
Yeah,
minutes?
let's actually start with like what you guys are.
Yeah.
Our foundation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, yeah.
What should we think of?
Okay, so is everyone found the tea? Is anyone still looking for?
Yeah, so, yeah. Cool. Great idea. Anybody needs pens or anything? Did training and illustration. Let's start out. I cheated because I had a couple that just came to me. Figure those out.
A couple minutes to go around and introduce yourselves to your teammates. If you haven't already. Yeah, just so you can understand where everyone is coming from and just kind of have a concept of who you're working with. And then I will let you know when we're going to go into the individualized question.
I didn't actually read something like that when we have more options.
And
It's a create a virtual system that best interfaces with customers on an online shopping platform. Think about an online shopping platform. What type of assistance would be helpful if you might have?
let's simplify this. We all kind of have the same. So now we're gonna have,
But they did say you don't use the specifics. So like, it doesn't have to be Amazon, it could be Siri, it could be anything. Just think of online shopping experience. We want to create when the cross-rating generates. Yeah, so just think about an online, any type of online shopping experience. How would an assistant help you or somebody you can think of or see do that? Let's just generate.
I don't know. Okay. So that's one option. You can work with clothing, one of those roles or also, you know, yeah. CB2, skate battle, clothes, this sort of stuff. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to bring it back in for the first part of this design spree. So the individual ideas portion is going to be everyone diverging. Like I mentioned before, there's one idea to every post-it note, and what your objective is to create as many ideas as possible. So this, if I can get your attention.
Yeah.
And then, okay, awesome. So we're going to go into the individual ideas portion. I see some of you already writing some of your ideas out. The best way for this to be the most effective is if you do this in silence. So this is personally all of your own ideas. And I know we kind of skipped into the ideas portion. We can really emphasize the planning. That's kind of where you got the context from Pablo and Portu's presentations. So what we're going to do now is I'll put 4 minutes on the timer. In this stage, as many as possible ideas that you can generate. And then again, done in silence. No ideas too crazy, no ideas too far-fetched. If you think about anything at all, just write it down. So we're going to put 4 minutes on the timer for that. And again, it should be an individual activity.
I'm dying.
Good.
It's going to be summer, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. We have this. We do this. Yeah, it's done something right with the Is it better for you? Because I don't think you can see and I can take this. Is it better than yellow? Okay. Yeah.
So about a minute left, make sure to get your last ideas down and finish with your last thoughts.
Something crazy. Oh, quantum entanglement.
All right, so that is time. Thank you all for participating in that. So now we're going to transition into sharing out and reviewing our ideas. So whatever you just wrote down, again, like I mentioned, each person will read out each of their ideas in a separate sticky. Whoever wants to can go first. And the idea behind reading it aloud is so that everyone will be able to know your idea and you'll be able to communicate that effectively. And if you hear something that sounds similar to an idea that you had, you can jump in with your post-it note, read out loud, and then make groupings that make sense to you. And so at the end of all this, you should have a more organized group of quiet post-its and everyone should know each other's ideas. So feel free to take the next 5 minutes to have. I'll put a timer on too so you keep track of time that way.
So I will last.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't put
Doesn't matter.
yeah. Okay, after reading this, I will start.
So this is what
Okay. First idea is tell the truth how Christ
That's cool.
because it's shocking sometimes that there's a lot of shit.
TCO, you are. It's the fact.
Yeah. Okay, the second idea is it's maybe work for students that the virtual assistant as a person who wants to just online video shopping or you want really looking for some specific product. The third one, actually I have tried this one, but I haven't seen anymore. It's to with virtual reality something like this, let the user to try the product. Yeah, in a simple way, for my sunglasses, I have tried it. I just take picture with my, of myself then let me to have a 360 the last one is compare the products, not only with their real details that all of them companies write, but also with their pros and cons because I always should check these pros and cons in other sites, and it takes a lot of time to search about them, which product is better.
So basically collecting data from different websites.
Yeah, yeah. There's a company that is online shopping. Actually, it's for like specific products. Like for example, if you go to Apple, you can compare different of Apple. So I mean for
Amazon does the same
Yeah.
thing too. They'll let you like see different prices for shipping and things like that. If you find it right
yeah, but I mean about the quality of features of the
now. They also has a thing on that. They do a thing where you actually have premium, like the high of the recommended. They recommend certain ones. Then there's low cost.
Yeah.
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 Pros and cons. It's
Don't they usually like put like a thumbnail? Because I mean, most shopping online is like they have a good thumbnail. A lot of times those are enhanced. That's what you put
Or the ones the lowest, most the highest price is the ones that people are not gonna get.
right,
But it's the one that's top of the line.
but cheaper. That's the yeah.
But mine is more of like they were talking about talking to like Siri and AI and Alexa or any of the other doing shopping that way. Them having some specifications on like okay the cheapest one, or if they want like the 5 best ones, they can easily do that. Or
How does the virtual assistant bring compared to a little bit now, board of streaming TV, I was thinking about that in the one there. I was looking at, so you brought up the point that you do need an assistant. What can we maybe disrupt? Like one of the things, I don't know if I should mention it now, but I saw some features that use assistants better. I'm so fucking tired of it. Oh, what do you want to go here? You would trust like the recommendation. I would more like be able to iterate on all of it, have it just do things like I'm driving, I'm traveling. Tell me what's available so I don't know. They're so focused on getting information. I think the power of voice interfaces, I can receive information passively on the radio.
Yeah.
So there's some other things we could look at it. And I'll talk to someone later, but I want to take that discussion. Yeah.
So reading.
All right, so that's been 5 minutes, and no problems flew by. This is just me checking, you need more time?
2 to 3 more minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna introduce the next part. You can get to it whenever you're ready. But essentially, the objective, you sharing out your ideas to for your solution. So feel free to finish up, share it, and then define and decide what direction you want to do.
Get everybody a chance. So 1 minute, 1 minute, 1.
So I want just to explain what my idea is. So I'm thinking of like a shopping website for kids. And I think we have a search bar which says, which acts like an assistant and you can influence the search bar that has what you want to buy.
Yeah,
This is
so it starts top down,
Yeah.
just from what you want,
So
context.
you can type it and then.
Or you can speak into too.
Yeah, it's also going to suggest tags at the bottom.
Yeah,
and
tags
then-
is something else
yeah.
too, yeah.
And those tags can be objects like jeans or t-shirts or something, but they can also be adjectives like floral, jazzy. So if I want to see something like
So style versus
yeah,
just kind
yeah, so both of it. So that's a really nice way for the recommendation to say, okay, I want a floral t-shirt.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so that's
Anything
what
other
I'm-
features?
Another feature I'm thinking of, yeah, you can also put a recommendation into this, like people who bought this also bought that.
Great. Any other features?
You may also like this, so that's okay.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
So,
Yes, I was looking at a couple of ways to incorporate the virtual agents into the system. So one way obviously would be constantly talking in a passive way, kind of virtual style.
I actually was thinking the same thing as
But I
well.
can see that people can kind of avoid it, but it's worth exploring. So
Yeah.
exploring. So,
Multitask, yeah.
The other addition was to actually go and do research on how sales agents actually act inside of stores. Research was very the experience in that. Two main ideas.
So well trained.
Train basically.
Cool. So I hit 5 different ideas. I'm just going to mention the top of the line. We'll try to read 15 seconds, maybe 10. We'll go for 10. So first one, audio search. Cortana experience where it's actually listening to all what you're doing, giving great recommendations based on what they hear you going, talking about. And interesting. So, touch screen where you're moving across it and it sees what you do and you can go like a dating site up or down if you like. So it's like swipe this, swipe this. You say yes.
then where's the assistant? Is this going to recommend?
The assistant's doing that.
So it's going to send you a screen, like
Images and
by that
yeah, and you can enter by moving. Like you still start some pictures, you log in, you can have a cookie or have them create or off, and maybe put your
You cannot really search.
Huh?
You cannot search it.
Yes, you can, because it's got your lock. It's the text like focus. Let me finish getting them out, and then we can talk about it. That'll be the group. All right. So third one, type words, text. But the more you type in there, just like the search, the better it tunes your auto suggestions, and you got things you can click on. Easily iterate down to what you're interested in. There. That's enough. Alternate one is visual based on eye tracking for headset, VRAR glasses. You look at stuff, it sees what you're looking at, makes potential recommendations. Look at that. Yes, you like that. You go click it. That gives you a visual UI. And then I went crazy and said, how about a newer Sky controller headset? Well, what you think about when you see stuff on the site is what it reacts to. I just wanted to come with something crazy. You gotta have something crazy. That's crazy. I think that's everything. So, it's like you.
I'll just search. There's some good ideas. The basis for I think you gotta have some context.
Yep.
They can actually get to so starting with search, you narrow down to specific lineage of
And I like what she said though, because she did something really cool that I thought about, but I always do know without it. How much am I gonna spend? And other constraints, like I need to buy something and ship. Hey, right now, people buying generators and solar systems.
So I think
Yeah, location-based even. Those are passive things you turn on, they log in. You don't have to do anything to get the location.
yeah, we should really have a price. Put on the stage.
but also with
All right, next minute or so, make sure you decide on what direction you're going to take with the solutions that you have.
I'll say the VR is
Yeah,
because
and the eye controller is so great. Yeah. Like the one that's brain controller, like, yeah. I just did that because I wanted to come to know.
messing up.
No, Newark's got 6 years old. You can have like, I went to CES 4 years ago, 5 years ago. You were running phones. It's super creepy though. There were concerns about people like hacking your brain and like stealing information. So,
But you guys can try to narrow down to.
yeah. So here's the thing. I think that all of these leading into a thing where we preload concepts. If you log in like all the stuff like Google, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, it knows all this stuff about you, location, work you do, probably your income.
Okay, just
put
to
in
check in,
things like
who's decided on what
time
they're
to
going to
do you need ship?
Awesome.
You can have something that knows a lot about you.
Okay, so we can have a few more minutes for that. But if you've already decided, this is the time for you to create a prototype, create a story for it, illustrate, kind of the process and what your end result would look like, and prepare a 1-minute pitch to be able to share your ideas with everyone else.
Systems, what should be tailored toward creative typically. So the value of those one-time experiences. Right.
So that's an A version. I'm on the B side, so I want to be super lazy because privacy-wise, if you're putting in a purchase, you have no privacy. The next Cisco security guy now forgot. As soon as you log in with your payment information, as soon as you put your location, which you're going to ship to, you have no privacy. They look at your cookies in the browser. So what I would like this to do is say, 99 point, no. If you log in with those, that data's inloaded meeting before you start. If you log in like Amazon, it's already starts there. Yeah. So, and then log in too, because if you're on an e-commerce site, they'll be like, log in with this. Do you have a credit card? Do you have this? Do shipment. And a lot of times you're going to be a member there. So most people will email and stuff like that. But I do agree that they can use it two sides. Let's do a secure one. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't have all the information.
But 98% of the e-commerce sites. Right, but like Amazon, I worked on like Apple iTunes and others. Literally, they have that information. If you're
No, but if you're a new member, they will use it.
So first thing they ask is what? Do you want to be a member or do you want to be a guest? Even if you're a guest, the data's in your cookies. And it's not an either or. We can do two.
Can you start on something?
Yeah, that's what I'm agreeing.
It's like you go to the headquarters and then they actually scan your body. And actually it's an exact replica of an avatar.
Now that's interesting. Is the third one. So I'm going to be big brother shopper. You drive that. You drive auto magic shopper. Just looks at your eyes, tells you what your health is, tell you if you're awake or not, tell you what your size is. That'd be kind of cool. Put that in there. Your auto magic shopper. Okay. Well, I think we should have an AB version because that's better to be able to figure out. Yeah. Because you can't AB test. You have well, actually, we do A/B tests. We don't do one. We test two. Actually, no.
No, the idea should be
No. If you're actually really doing launching products, you're always supposed to do A/B tests. Yeah.
Whatever it might be.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do Big Brother shopping. I'm gonna do Big Brother. Yeah, and then we have to test. Oh, we don't have to check. You actually don't. That's something we mentioned. AB. That's what I was talking about earlier. You don't have to. Launch 20 years? No, you don't have to. Yeah. You may want to, but we're not going to. I'm not going to. You can do what you want. Yeah. So I'll do Big Brother. You guys can work on another one. Whoever wants to work on that.
Mine kind of correlates with Big Brother change.
I think it's more auto magic because mine Big Brother is like you log in and give the information. It's going to make some recommendations, say some stuff you may not know you know. Yours is going to be more like passively like.
We should stick on one product and then start the prototype.
Okay, you can, like I'm gonna work on Big Brother.
Then we all work on them.
No, you don't have to. No, we can actually do AV because we make real test real products. You choose.
Yeah, AV is for the demographic. If I have a product, if I want to try a set of features of demographic A versus B, that's AV.
Yeah. Because I really do want him to be able to create a secure version that we don't have Amazon. You really don't. If you're using a phone, and you have location turned on, you have no security. Like, you have no security. It's a canard in America. So, yeah, it's a logical fallacy that we don't. But I do want him to work on something that could be like that. But how do you pay for it is the question. Security. Because what's interesting is if you log in with like OAuth or some information, what happens to the credit? You're gonna be send me store credit, e-commerce store credit, or you say, oh, you have a good job. You know what? We'll ship to you for free if you buy 2 payrolls like Amazon Prime does. I realize even though I like security and privacy, that I'm willing to pimp out information that I'm not monetizing. So I mean, but I like your idea about like automagic when you just walk in. Meow.
Or actually, it was actually kind of so
Oh, you shop inside your VR.
shop inside
That's even
VR,
better.
but they actually be honest, this is a particular place where it actually scans your body. So
You got a headset. You can just do it on here, like or headset or phone. Because the LG Optimus is used to look at our eyes and follow it for 3D video. You actually can use the devices that have the basic stuff for VR, you know, and a hologram stuff.
it's actually scanning your whole body. Basically, you're checking
Yeah, but what's the product? What's the product? I haven't decided
Very so.
Yeah, but what's the product? Like, what are we selling? What's the
Generalized shopping center.
So
No specific.
Okay.
Like Amazon.
Okay, so let's just narrow down to one.
yeah. So what's the first step in the journey is? What do you want to do?
No, let's pick a category. Let's say because then it's an easier
Then we can drive it, yeah. So what do y'all want? What do y'all want? So
You know,
clothing,
just say we have like a
cars, clothes, yeah, clothes. Are you down with clothes? Are you with clothes? So clothes, that's good. We try to help you. So, first thing it's gonna ask you is, do you want male or female clothes, right? Or baby clothes? What type of clothes do you?
Yeah, I think ultimately you're gonna drive it at Curry.
Yeah.
So
So
the traditional way I would used to be to give the input minute.
yeah.
And it can be couched with the avatars, right? Or it can start.
So that's a great way of doing it, because that way it can be audio, it can be touch, whatever they're advertising, what they want to do, doesn't matter. So that gets us back to one UI. Great job. See, so the one UI is whatever way you want to do it, voice, movement, touch, eyes, you're gonna add.
Introduce the avatar. So kind of connect you with great box.
So this is
Get off the audio.
Yeah.
And then I think the tags, like you cannot just type in text, but I mean it's pretty.
As soon as you begin to type, I think your tags are a great idea.
Yeah. No, I mean already existing people. Like, I mean, you don't have to start typing daily to get the back from already existing.
So a combination of question and
Define tags.
tags. And then these narrow
Yeah.
based upon what you type.
And these
Probably,
I
yeah.
think there's two things I like about this,
yeah.
which was combination of products here.
And the adjectives for what you're looking for. So it could be even color, like I said, blue.
So style and feel. Yeah.
So I say blue.
The ones that demographics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a story that way. Tell us. Yeah. Yeah.
So autocomplete last line right there.
And then do something that
Go.
is on the screen that I was thinking. So here, like you said, you have to search or you have the audio. Then you're gonna create images of like people wearing examples of those clothes. Like if I say blue denim jeans, and then I get rid of like models, for example.
So you're landing.
Yeah. Or the
Results page.
The results page.
Yeah.
So I say blue denim jeans. Yeah, blue denim jeans. So I have models wearing blue denim jeans, and some of them have like maybe low-cut jeans, some of them are like broad jeans.
So like cars.com commercial where it's like, I need blue. And then like they dip down. I want a 2-door, 4-door.
Yeah. And the beauty of this, I can click on any one of this and I can say, I want something similar to this.
Exactly.
And then I get an experience.
So you can get you just put in and then bring additional free or whatever.
Yeah, that's it.
This became a whole floating system.
Yeah.
Floated into the results page. Continue to create.
So it could be a search window with the avatar next to it. You define it to
Stay.
With audio enabled.
yeah, or video or picture. Some people just want to punch. Some people don't swipe. Some people want to be like, I want to know my VR. I want to be in this car. Yeah.
Also with the transaction, it could be actually a place where you have all your stuff. On virtual reality, I think we can actually say, and then when we go back into regular world, well, this one, maybe actually be able to get an email saying your purchase has been received, it's been processed.
Or a text message or audio message, yeah. So you know what's interesting about what he said that kind of informs this? When you get past the basic thing to what you want, what you said earlier, there's another level of transparency to be based on. I need to have this shit by tomorrow. It's a wedding dress, I'm going to a thing, or a budget thing. That constraint, that could be the constraint at the second level or the first level when you start with that. I want stuff only they can be shipped in 3 days. I only have 4 of them. That gets rid of so many choices. That helps tune when you get down to other results. And the system can say, well, you know, if you want us to tell whether we can ship this in time or whatever it is, put in your credit card information. Put in your log interface over this so we have the size and tall you want. Basically, just started dating yesterday. I'm like, they actually tell you put in your height. Yeah, basically dating. I was messing with it because it's like, this is cool. I want to see if it's better than, Tinder, or some of the other sites. Yeah. So I was like, oh, it is height. And it pulls in a lot of information from your profile already. So that's what the value of the profile, even if it's like your PayPal profile. Like I just got approved for higher credit levels out of business, right? And I don't use credit, but it's great to have. That information logged in to say, oh, you're a high roller. We're gonna do the e-commerce black card. Anything you want, we'll ship it for free because you're gonna spend a lot of money. That's where you add that information to talk about. We're discussing, and you don't have to because you're like, I'm not gonna give it to you for anything. I'm just gonna pay prepaid debit card. Yeah. Or ship it to me and I'll pay in cash when I get out. I'll send it to you Western Union. Actually, people do pay prepaid. So, so that's a way of adding that.
Okay, so we have 3 minutes left. What's the general?
And we call that the funnel. We funnel with that
Do you
information.
need more time? Are you ready in 3 minutes? More time?
Yeah, I have a Safeway card and rewards card number. I didn't even know I got it right there. But Walgreens, they're 60% of all places. They don't ever really do it. Definitely. So there's kind of be.
Well, I had 2 rounds, and I said, okay,
Yeah.
Okay, so in 8 minutes, we're going to have everyone finish their prototypes, and then we're going to start pitches. So a 1-minute pitch for every person to be able to succinctly explain whatever solution you reach.
You give a pitch. Yes.
Each team is 1 minute, yeah, so it's up to you to delegate to towards the
Okay. You do it. Yeah. You know why? Come on. So, or maybe him. So that's the funnel down that lets you get down to your choices. The shipping, how much you can pay, how you pay. Yeah, but their details on the UI because they deal with the fact that it puts the choices down to some. So it can funnel down to Yeah.
I think we should have a tagline for yes.
Do you have one? You do it. So, what I want you to do is somebody over there start to draw this. Like I've got ugly stuff, and we have some feedback. So start.
I'm trying to incorporate.
Yeah.
The visual matrix.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm going to communicate is that I was thinking about I think here. So that makes sense. So it's good thing.
Yeah.
So what if I
Oh yeah.
It's a next.
physical layer?
Oh, you're talking about X, Y, Z. So
Yeah, X, Y, so I drill it, and have the next set of choices.
could I also zoom in? Yeah. Yeah.
So you zoom in, and then put your paint, you paint on it.